The world kept quiet for more than 10 years as one of Hollywood's biggest stars seemed to drift farther and further away from his only daughter. And now the silence is over for good. The truth about their separation weighs much more than anyone thought. Suri Null, whose real name was Suri Cruz, was born famous, but she didn't want it. A child was known right away everywhere she went, even when she just wanted to live like every other child. Her childhood was hidden from the chaos of cameras behind high walls. There were also big secrets around her that she was too young to understand. And now that she's 19, she's finally speaking, but not with words. She's doing strong things in her life. People are shocked because it looks like every move she makes is a secret message to her dad. The picture-perfect family that used to walk the red carpet with big smiles on their faces is long gone, leaving behind a story full of heartbreak and open questions. This is the secret story of a girl who watched her father from afar as a child, and of a father who watched her slowly fade away from his life. It started out like a Disney movie. The whole business world caught fire when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes met in 2005. Their link was made right away. There was no denying their energy, and the news spread like wildfire before the relationship had even had a chance to take a breath. Katie, who was only 26 at the time, was so happy about her Dawson's Creek fame. A young actor with a lot of charm, drive, and energy that made everyone want to cheer for her. Tom was 43 years old at the time and had been one of the biggest stars in entertainment for decades. There's Mission Impossible, Top Gun, and Jerry Maguire. He was a star in Hollywood. For Katie, this wasn't just another crush on a singer. In her eyes, it was fate. She told 17 magazine years before they met that her dream was to marry Tom Cruise one day. A lot of people just thought it was a silly dream. But when they met in real life, something crazy took place. The story goes that Tom told his team, "I'm going to marry her." After that, things moved quickly. It's almost going too fast. In just a few weeks, their relationship was all over the news. Every room they went into was filled with love, and soon they couldn't be separated. They were holding hands in Rome, laughing together, and acting like no one else was there. It looked like even Tom Cruise, who is known for being very private, had been sucked into a storm that he couldn't control. Every look, every smile, and every public moment screamed love. But there was something more going on behind all that glitz. Not what anyone expected. Then there was a moment that everyone stopped and looked. It was one of the most talked about times in TV history when Tom Cruise jumped onto the couch during his appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show and yelled, "I'm in love." Everyone was shocked. Some people saw pure, passionate love, while others thought it was just plain weird. One thing was clear, though. No one could turn their eyes away. Soon after that event that made headlines, their love story hit its peak. Their daughter Suri was born on April 18, 2006, and she became the live symbol of their quickfire romance right away. Tom said that the day she was born was the best day of his life and that she was a miracle. But even that beautiful part had a twist that went all the way back to how his world was built. How much he loves Scientology. Katie grew up in a small town in Toledo and was raised Catholic. All of a sudden, she had to get used to a whole new world where secrets, strict beliefs, and authority were the norm. Scientology practices were said to have been used during her pregnancy and birth, such as the famous silent birth, in which no one was allowed to speak during the delivery. The theory said that the goal was for the baby to come into the world completely calm. Tom even bought his own personal sonogram machine so he could check on the baby from home. This made a lot of people in Hollywood look twice. People from the outside thought it was too much and even controlling. But Tom saw it as a matter of love and protecting his growing family. He did everything out of love, but he did it in his own very intense way. There were so many beautiful things about their wedding that it looked like it came straight from a royal storybook. It happened in a beautiful Italian castle called Odiscali Castle, which was built in the 1400s and is in Bracciano, close to Rome. Reports say the event cost more than $3 million. Katie looked stunning in a handmade Giorgio Armani dress, and Tom was beaming with pride next to her. There were famous people at the wedding, like Jennifer Lopez, Will Smith, and David and Victoria Beckham. It was one of the fanciest weddings Hollywood had ever seen. The flashes went off, and the couple smiled for everyone to see. But not everyone was happy. The Holmes family, Martin and Kathleen, were worried about Katie from the start. They were devout Catholics and didn't fully understand the new world their daughter had joined. They were afraid that it could make their daughter and granddaughter feel alone. Sadly, they had good reason to be worried. From behind the cameras, the once exciting love story started to feel different. It felt safer, more controlled, and a lot less free. What began as a love was now filled with rules, limits, and the stress of following a strong set of belly. But for Katie, that same place started to feel like a cage over time. And for Suri, it was the start of a life that would be different from any other Hollywood kids. The Cruz Holmes family still looked perfect to the public in 2007. They walked the red carpet, posed for beautiful magazine covers, and flew around the world on private jets. For many, they were the ideal family. But there were cracks starting to show below that shiny top, and no one knew how deep they went. Friends began to talk about how Katie almost never went somewhere by herself. Anyone who knew someone in Tom's group or at church was always close whenever she went outside. From the outside, they didn't look like guardians. They moved slowly and blended in with the background, always keeping an eye on things. People looked at her every move, even when she was just going for a coffee or having dinner with friends. Katie said something that made everyone at the table cold one night while they were having dinner with reporter Maura North. When fans came up to her and asked for a quick picture, she smiled and said something that caught everyone off guard. "We don't go outside very often." Even though it sounded like a joke, people who knew how she controlled her surroundings knew exactly what she meant. Meanwhile, Tom stayed as intense and sure of himself as ever. He was a man who was totally loyal to his faith and would not change his mind about what he believed. He became one of the most well-known and vocal Scientology supporters, defending the religion in public and proudly promoting its beliefs. It wasn't just religion to him. It gave his discipline order, meaning, and a reason for being what it was.